Welcome back to Swift Thinking MDS Tutorials. Today I want to teach you how to do some digital sponging. So as you can see, this little treat card that I made, along the edges of the flower that I punched out, it looks like I took and sponged ink on them. And I actually did this digitally before it was printed, not after it was punched out. So I'm going to show you how to achieve this look today. So as you can see, here is the sheet that I printed out, and you can see that beautiful little pinky look to the edge of the paper, but only the edge of the paper. The middle stays white. And so in order to achieve this look, we are going to use an overlay. So let's go to a blank page and get started with this. Alright, so what I did was I went in and I added my punch. And in this case, I'm using our Blossom punch. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply one of those to the page so I have something to work with. Now, I want to achieve that sponging look on the edge of my flower. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my overlays, which is actually a stamp. And it's this vintage overlay, this very first one that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to go ahead and choose my color first, which was Primrose Petals. And then I'm going to throw that on my page. And I double clicked, by the way. Or you could also click and drag. So now it's there, but it's kind of hard to see because it centered it. If I pull it down a little bit, you kind of start to see it here. I'm going to pull it down until I can find the corner. And then I'm going to shrink this down really small. Because right now it comes out as a 12 by 12, and I only want it to be a little bit bigger than that flower itself. So there you can kind of see where it's going to hit on the flower. I still want it a little smaller. So there. Now you can kind of see it has like a nice little edging to it where it will make the edges of hit the edge of the flower a little bit, but it's going to have this square look to it, and I want it to be more all around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a copy. I'm going to go ahead and paste it in place. When it pastes in place, you can see it gets darker. But then I'm going to go down here and I'm going to tell it to rotate it 120 degrees. And now I'm going to go back to my original one again. Once again, say copy, and this is the copy button because as you can see, it's making 1 into 2. And this one is the paste in place. This is paste with an offset, but we want it to paste in place so that it's going to have that same center. There we got another one, and we're going to go down here, and this time we're going to tell it to rotate it just 60. So now you can see it kind of has this nice all around look around the flower, so it's kind of hitting each of the petals evenly, so it's got a nice little shading. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to go into my layers, and I want to pull my punch up to the top. And now I'm going to pull my punch off to the side so that over here is just this little shading that I did. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to export my project. So I'm going to go to Share, Export to JPEG. And I'm actually going to say no right now, because I don't actually want this saved, because I'm going to bring it back in and change the pages so that it's just this one that I'm working with. I'm going to go say OK and then finish. Now so it's exporting this page as it's been done. So once that's finished, I'm actually going to come back in here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to delete. I selected everything, by the way. If you click on a spot where there isn't any embellishments, you can click and drag and it will select everything that's inside there. And so I selected all of those. I'm just going to go ahead and delete them out. Now I'm going to move my flower punch back. Now here is the trick. I'm going to say photo fill, and since I exported that as a JPEG, when I go out to where I exported it, I can bring it in as a photo because a JPEG is a type of photo file. Now you can see it kind of looks funny there because it's trying to fit the entire page that I exported into that little punch. But if you double click it, you get into this editing screen and you're going to say reset, and that's going to make it the original size of the file. And then you can kind of pull it around so you get your shading right in where you want it. And you can also use the arrow keys to nudge it a little bit. See how I'm nudging it? That's with my arrow keys. And then I say OK, and now I've got this nice little sponging effect on the edge of my punch. So that is your trick for today. I hope you enjoy, and I hope you give it a shot and make a wow on some of your projects. This is Swift Thinking. Flutter back again soon.